can't flip a table, guys. Aha! Ah! And that locker will never see the light of day just because of being flipped. Hey everyone, this is Makoi. Welcome you back to another episode, the final episode of the BLT IX podcast. I'm joined once again by...
Garrett 2004. I was on vacation last week, just so you know.
Yeah, and I got to flip the table, or a locker. Anyway...
That's what you flipped.
Anyway, last time we covered the majority of the finals proper, which we saw a tie, and now we're seeing the tiebreaker has just wrapped up, and here are the results. Congratulations to the winning team, but let's go in chronological order on how it happened, shall we?
Yes.
First off, we got Blimax beating the OU main attribute. Well, not an OU main. He just happened to play OU really goodly. Looking at the teams, they're not the worst thing in the world. I mean, attribute brought some pretty much good heat. But you saw this game, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think I did, yeah.
So the game was pretty, it was pretty standard OU affair, I'd say. And Blimax was in control for most of it. Were there any particular highlights? Because I wasn't really noting some of these.
One particular highlight is that when Attribute was already, not doing too well in the match, Blimax then got a special defense drop with his Blacephalon onto the Heatran upon switching.
Yeah, that was... Oh, yeah, that one was pretty unfortunate.
The Heatran.
So the Heatran was basically Attribute's best bet to take down Blacephalon, or any amount of that matter, but...
Well, it was basically the only true wall he had for it.
But the special defense drop definitely played in a factor into the killing of said Heatran. The rest of the game went exactly in Blimax's favor. I mean, here Attribute.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Attribute got.
But that special defense drop really hurt Attribute. It kind of made it so he was on the back foot, but then once the special defense happened, but when the drop happened, it's like, man, he loses now.
Yeah, and that ultimately mattered towards the end. Blimax just kind of played him pretty dominantly, and ended up taking the win, a pretty dominant win in OU. Next up, we had Miminger versus TJ in Ubers. So this game, care to explain what happened?
Jeez.
The Miminger brought freaking Webb's HO against TJ's whole team, which, okay, for a finals game, the cheese is like the last thing you would expect to bring, but hey, fair play to Miminger, at least he got the win.
You say that? You say that when you add Team Charm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that match, I mean, did that finals game really had to happen with cheese? I mean, that's Team Charm for you. At least Team Charm embodies cheese.
Nah, it's more like he embodies just Team Charm.
Alright, so, but towards the end, we got Dragon Dance, Necrozma, kind of just sweeping the rest of, TJ's whole team, and the Webs really hurt TJ for the most part.
Yeah, they did.
And yeah, Miminger ended up taking the pretty dominant looking W. It was what it was. I mean, the Webs HO definitely proved very helpful.
I still feel like defogging at some point would have helped.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but
not saying it would have changed the result, but
it would have been put in a better position. Also, bless you.
One thing is, I think it would have been slightly more playable if he had defogged the Webs away.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have changed the result, but like that would have made things just a little more feasible.
Had it been in a better position, because he was also affected by rocks. Had it been in a better position, yeah, he could have easily just defogged it out. But he didn't. Miminger didn't really provide any chances of like being able to get it safely in.
Yeah, but even when it wasn't, it didn't defog.
Yeah, and so
Just
good.
knocked twice. That's what did.
And so a good win for Miminger there to end up the season. So we come here to 1-1.
I wouldn't call it a good win.
I mean, it was a
win.
It was a win. It was a win. And now we've come 1-1 in the playoffs. So the final game that happened was FC versus Crunchman in doubles. Crunchbot Rain. And FC really didn't have any counters for Rain, honestly.
Yeah, it was not a great matchup, honestly. It was playable.
It was
He
playable.
got his first turn, right?
Yeah, it was pretty playable. I mean, he got the Kingdra out of there, I guess you would say, because before it could really be a threat. Well, no, actually, it was. What was I thinking? I was thinking of another game, because the Kingdra was definitely there for the majority of this game. Kyurem definitely could have been a factor in killing most of these mines. Definitely with the Dragon Dance set.
Not quite Ferrothorn, though.
Yeah, Ferrothorn was the wall, unfortunately. That proved to be pretty helpful. Also, the Tailwind Zapdos along with Swift Swim Kingdra. Oof. Didn't really have a ghost of a chance for FC to actually get in a proper sweep in. So he had to play around it, and it was pretty played around really well. It was unfortunate. It was really unfortunate for FC because he didn't have exactly the matchup.
Have a lot for arrows. Well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you can't always play a perfect game, and like FC's not really a doubles main.
Unfortunately, Crunchman is though, and that's basically what happened. It was a 12-turn game, pretty anticlimactic, but Crunchman did win.
I hate to say it, it was the expected result.
It was the expected result, and a good way for Crunchman to end his season off in a pretty impressive manner. All right. So, congratulations to the Sunny Shore Snorlaxes for winning BLT. It is their second win.
Yeah, congrats again.
It is their second win after their last win in BLT 5. This is Trace and ESM's third BLT win. The last time they were on different teams. But now the first time they won their each respective title wins, they were on respective teams from past BLTs. But they teamed together, 1-5 and now 1-9, and they more than well deserved it, actually. Let's look at the spreadsheet, shall we? I think the Snorlaxes have the most well-rounded, had probably the best draft. Well, aside from the Laprases, but Snorlaxes definitely belonged in playoff contention after getting so many good people in such little prices. They were amazingly priced.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great team.
It was a very, very strong team. Every main they got for cheap, and they more than well played to the highest of their expectations. And yeah, there may be some stinkers there like Royal Reloaded and El Cap, but the majority of their team is really good. I mean, Attribute impressing as always in their mono. Crunchman did have that unbeaten streak for like the first 4 weeks before SMB beat him. TDNT wasn't bad at all. It was actually.
Don't you mean TDNT?
Yeah, TDNT. you are more impressive than you think, man. Elfuzon didn't really have the best season, but hey, best.
The win versus Maki was
That
enough.
definitely helped. That win versus Maki definitely helped. ESM also had a kind of a mid-season, but Taz, of course, dominant, best LC player in this pool. GW had a great season. Ninja had a great PU season. Fragments had a good 1-0 win over Balor. Zordark also had a pretty good, also had a decent season. Gorex didn't really have the best one.
As usual, unfortunately.
Zen had a pretty good season, and also Miminger had a pretty good season as the Uber's stand-in. So yeah, again.
What's Miminger? I know Zen's positive, but what's Miminger?
I believe he's. Ooh. Well, this sheet isn't updated, so I believe he's positive. He's like 4-2, I want to say, 5-2.
Well, what does the sheet say at the moment?
3-2. It hasn't been updated since week 7.
Oh God.
I'm gonna have to update it later.
5-3. I think he's 5-3.
5-3. That's still a pretty dang good record, especially at a 3K buy. So yeah.
Not updated since week 7, you say?
Week 6. Sorry, week 6.
Week 6?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know anymore.
All right. Anyway.
Okay. Then. No, he might actually be 6-3.
I don't know. We'll have to recheck later. But yeah. Well,
Damn it.
once again, Snorlax's well done, very well deserved BLT win. Come back as the reigning champions for BLT 10.
No, please don't. Give MJ the win next time, please.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Unless I'm not on that team, then don't.
Alright, so that brings us to the end of BLT 9 proper. I mean, we've had a wild ride, so why don't we celebrate that wild ride with some awards? Woo!
Wow, the best part, yeah.
The quote-unquote best part of this video, right? I mean, come on.
It's what everyone wants to see, surely.
Alright, so we did get 46 responses. I mean, the payout was low. The hype definitely died down, like, after most of the teams were off. So yeah, we only managed to get 46 responses, which is not bad. I mean, we still know what the people say is their favorite moments from BLT, so there you go. Alright, so first off, we got Team of the Year. This is what people think is the best team. Apparently the best team of BLT. And the winner is the Santaloon Swamperts at a whopping 32.6%.
That is impressive, considering they didn't actually win.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first. I think this is the first time that the champs did not win did not win this poll. So the Snorlaxes did come at number 2, and then the rest, and then of course the Laprases at 3rd, and then the rest.
The results would have matched the actual BLT results if
they're flipped.
You guys won the tiebreaker.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was.
The Lapras 3rd. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like in the thing.
You still got a place in the podium, PokeArt. So be thankful. But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't get any money. And MJ doesn't get a win.
Sad. All right, next up we got Upset of the Year. This goes out to the biggest upset that everyone, like, who would have predicted that they would win over, like,
I like how no one voted for Luisin versus Kev, because I don't think that was even an upset.
It's still like a mid to decently known player beating the mono leader. Come on.
How did you put this instead of Zen defeating Starmaster?
I don't think that well, that one, I don't think that counts as an upset, because Zen actually played well against Starmaster.
It's an upset regarding the players.
I mean,
No matter how well they play.
yes, actually.
Like, didn't Raj outplay Taz?
Yeah.
Or did he hacks?
Did he X? No. I don't know. But
It's not a matter of who outplays who. It's a matter of what name who defeats who.
so I guess the honorable.
Not a matter of-
So I guess by that logic, the honorable mention would be Panu versus defeating Michael Derbest as well. From
yeah,
week
perhaps,
4.
yes.
All right, so that was an honorable mention. But the winner is Elfuzon versus Maki from the semifinals.
What a lovely upset. Wait a minute.
I don't
Where's
know.
Team Charm versus GW?
That is not an upset. What are you talking about? I mean, number 2 was Mamalu versus SMB. I mean, that one made us upset. So.
Yes, that was an upset that made us upset.
And then.
Good way of putting it.
And then the rest, Raj.Shoot defeating Taz and Gorex defeating Actual Early, and then Udon Girl beating Dugsa. I mean, fair enough. Next up, meme match of the year. Oh boy, this one is the most fondly remembered thing that will happen in PLT. And yes, I picked these 5 because I legit don't know a fifth one. Or a 6th one, I don't know. Have there been another?
These are decent options, I think.
Yeah, kind of unpredictable here. But the winner can only be one. Team Charm versus GW. Yeah, Team Charm beating GW in the finals, with Team Charm bringing the memeiest of teams, wins this one with 32.6% of the vote. Incredible. And so,
sorry, my mom came in and I think.
So Team Charm beating GW. What did you think?
Hey, did you unpause it?
I did.
Why?
So that was Team Charm versus GW.
Oh, well, it was a lovely game, yes.
I mean, he came in and he brought that freaking whack team with the Yuxi, got the stored power, and won.
Apparently, there's a bit of history behind it.
Explain the history.
I don't know the history. I just heard the basics. Why are you asking me to explain the history?
You definitely know the basics. Well, if you said you know the basics, so please explain the basics.
I only heard that apparently Charm has brought the team before simply to beat GW and has beaten him every single time with it.
Wow, so he cannot even predict the Yuxi team. Rip.
I guess not.
Oh well. So, number 2 was the LCAP versus Casual.exe Week 5 encounter. How fitting. How fitting. Considering that it's LCAP we're talking about.
Considering LCAP won via hacks, yes.
Yep. Next in third was the what I think should have won, Elfuzon versus Maki, because of the circumstances that surrounded this matchup. Was definitely meme worthy.
As well as what happened during it.
It was definitely. Go watch the match if you haven't. I think it is one of the greatest games ever.
And if LCAP wins with hacks, you think it's a terrible game, but if Elfuzon wins versus hacks, with hacks, you think it's amazing.
That is the mentality of the tour's reg mindset, Pokeyard.
No, that's your mentality.
I'm a hypocrite. John Filch versus Splorsh, which honestly people should be talking about more because it was definitely a funny game. And
what happened?
It was the
Oh.
It was the counter on Gastrodon to Delmise. That made it really funny. Oops, I'm kind of spoiling the rest of the games. All right, yeah, it was funny. It was really funny.
Oh man, that's yeah, I remember that now.
And then Maki versus Sice. The way they used their mono electric teams was really funny.
They had interesting teams.
Go watch the match if you haven't. Go watch the match if you haven't. Next up. Next up was. This one definitely raised some hairs in the chat. Steal of the year.
Mikoi?
I
think we need to talk about this.
Okay, what do you want to talk about this?
Why are 5 out of 6 of the options 10k or more if we're talking about steals?
Listen. I chose these because I wanna experiment on this because I wanted people who are so highly ranked that they could be literally 20k or above go for much lower than they did. And so I picked these 5 purely because they are the 5 players who everyone thought that they're gonna go huge, like 20 or 30k at best. But then they go for much lower than they expected, and look what happened.
This is still not exactly cheap. Maki is the only cheap one here, basically. So, big steal.
So, I was definitely overlooking the fact that Maki was the biggest steal of the tour, and would you know it, Maki won.
This is literally the only option that is under 10k. What do you think? They also almost went undefeated. What do you think?
Listen, Maki does what Maki does, and going under 5.5k and getting 7-1 is a pretty good record. I can attest to that.
Yes, I don't understand how any of the others are steals. Heck, what about who else is actually a steal?
Exactly. I didn't have any other option.
We got Harshal for 3k again, you know.
But did Harshal play more than, like, what? More than enough games? But Harshal didn't play as much. How could I consider him a steal?
And, like, I don't remember other prices, but, like,
these were the 5.
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Maroon go for pretty cheap?
Didn't he? Did he? I'm gonna have to check that. 7k.
Exactly.
Nah, Maroon for 7k? A steal? Nah.
That is a steal.
Well, he did well. He did do well under the course of the direction of the tour. But 7k Maroon.
And how much did we get Telena for, huh?
Telena you got for pretty dang 7.5k. But okay. Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
I see your point now. Alright, fine. I don't want this list to be just Laprases.
Look, I'm only naming Laprases because those are the only players I actively have access to looking at.
Okay, fine. There. Steal of the year, Maki. Good job. Next up, another contentious and controversial choices list. Overpay of the year. Listen, folks. I chose these 5, now 6 people because I want to represent a player who went so much more, not just so much more than they did, but ultimately caused the detriment of the team itself. That's why I praised the Snorlaxes earlier for having the best, most well-rounded to their price lineup, is because they didn't have any player over 20k, and yet they still won the whole thing, and they did magnificently well throughout this whole tour. These 5 or 6 though, despite being good, I know full well that they are good players. Definitely the top of the line team. But their price actively hurt. Let's just say that. Their price actively hurt the rest of the team because you got a good player for such a good price and then the rest all flop. Because, take for instance the Jirachis. This is why I didn't rank the Jirachis as highly as I did. Because they got 2 players in Michael Derbest and Luthier, I believe. They got them for a combined 68k. But the rest have garbage prices. So, I didn't see them.
Michael Derbest was a Jirachi? No, he wasn't.
Oh, my Milotic, sorry. Wow, okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Milotics. You got like 2 really expensive players.
Oh yeah, I mistake the team right there. Okay, I mistake the team there. That was bad course of me. But Milotics, this is why I didn't rank them highly as such, because they did get both Michael Derbest and Luthier for 68k. The rest, garbage prices, to say the least. Garbage prices. So, yes, that is my blatant explanation on why I think they got good players, but ultimately cost the detriment of the whole team.
Yeah, you kind of got a point with the Milos. That is a bit true.
The rest didn't exactly fare either. I mean, okay, granted, Ars9 for going for 27.5k, I thought that was a bit overpriced for... Especially the way Ars9 was... Especially, okay, good on Ars9 for making it into what? A 7 or 8-1? 8-1 record? Or no, 8-2.
7-1, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 7-1, sorry. But, as good of an Ars9 price that is, I mean... And Laprases did have a good season. At least with the Laprases, I can attest. Because the rest have... pretty dang, because MJ did such a good job of drafting a really good team. However,
Ars9 was our most expensive player,
the
but
rest,
we still had plenty of other good ones.
The rest I cannot say exactly how. Well, maybe TJ, but that's because I'm biased. But the rest, iffy. That is my explanation and why Overpay is the way it is. So.
Honestly, the biggest overpay here is easily Michael Derbest, because I think most people are under the same impression as me. And that impression is, I don't think anyone is worth 36k alone.
Guess who won the frickin' award? Michael Derbest. Alright, sorry if I got heated for a bit, but I need to get it out of my chest. I need to explain everything that happened with the overpay situation.
You just gotta think about it a little more, Mikoi, and not just put the top prices. You gotta think about if they were actually worth their price tag or not.
Okay, alright. I will for the next award. Alright.
That's what people were mad about.
Alright. Next up, the Udon Girl Award for most gimmicky team. This is, as we've explained, we've seen some crazy crap in BLT. We've seen some really whack in BLT. And these 5 definitely were like the biggest meme teams that ultimately, either you win or lose, they still managed to impress us. So we've got TDNT's Bulka Blando team. We've seen that and we praised the hell out of it. We got the Registeel team. Duh. We got the Cresselia team that Crunchman...
Well, actually, there were quite a few Registeel teams. Just
what? Udon Girls...
What? For pretty much everyone else in the tour.
Yeah, Udon Girl was the first to build such a team, and that's why she has the ignoble honor of being on this list. Crunchman's Cresselia team... Freaking love that team, because it was Gravity. T-Lenet's I Don't Give an F team from week 6. And then Team Charm...
Yeah, that just kind of lost to Phariseed, I think. I don't quite remember. It lost to a couple very common threats. So it was pretty clear he wasn't giving a crap.
Exactly. That's why I named it I Don't Give an F. And then finally, Team Charm's Yuxi team from the finals. We've already seen it, and we praised the hell out of it. The winner of the Udon Girl Award goes to, not actually Udon Girl, it was Team Charm.
Well, yes, Team Charm is just as good at Udon Girling as Udon Girl.
I think this may have been recency bias.
Almost.
This may have been recency bias, honestly. But yeah, Team Charm's Yuxi team was definitely a thing. I would have personally preferred the I Don't Give an F team or the Registeel team, to be honest, but that's just me.
Wow, you're suddenly a Lapras fan.
Exactly, I like the teams you brought. No, what else can I say? I really like the teams that you brought. So yeah.
But I didn't bring much of any teams.
Your team. I meant your team. But yeah.
I know.
But yeah. Next up, we got the Most Promising Newcomer Award. This one goes, okay, I know that most of these people are, like, this is their first BLT. But I want to
this is their first BLT. I don't think anyone here is actually a new player.
Yes.
Just gonna point that out.
Yes, we know for a fact that these people haven't played in a BLT before, and this is their first excursion. We get that. But we want to highlight the newcomer who made the most impact throughout the tour as an unknown, as someone who hasn't really got the most Smogon experience, but ended up really impressing, and ultimately their stock went up. So I picked these 5. Well, maybe the least player I would say here is probably Rim or Revenge Killer, but maybe because I don't know the underground of the Smogon very well. Well, meanwhile, the others, for their first BLT, they did pretty damn good.
Well, you gotta remember, some of these guys have years of experience under their belt.
Yeah, I know, but competing in their first BLT, definitely something to be proud of. And the winner is Lady Rider, which I honestly would have picked as well, because definitely the man's a goat in PU.
Lady Rider did well, yeah.
He was very impressive throughout all this tour, and my god, the level of PU creativity that man brought is good. And the level of play he did in PU, amazing. Probably the best PU player of this pool. So good job for Lady Rider. T-Lanet, I mean, there's T-Lanet, there is Ninja, there is Avadis, there's Blimax as well, but
T-Lanet wasn't impressed. I'm just gonna say that.
Lady Rider for best newcomer. Definitely well deserved. Next up, Unluckiest Player. This goes out to the player who hasn't had really the best luck in BLT. Has had one of the poorest records, and also, yeah, didn't really do well. I was gonna put Gorex on here, but at least we kind of...
He got a kind of lucky win versus actuarially, though.
So that knocked him off the list, but the rest are here to stay. And the winner for that is Ace Hunter 1 in LC. For a player with such good hype behind Ace Hunter, really was kind of disappointing that they turned out with such a bad record. But you can't blame him. The LC pool is really stacked this year. But having to fight Taz week 1, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's nasty.
So the rest are pretty evenly split. We got Oras Mega at number 2, and then we got all of Shiba, Splorsh, and Fangame 10 having had pretty bad records. But Ace Hunter clearly takes the cake. Unfortunate that Ace Hunter gets to hold this award, but yeah, he's had one of the worst seasons. I mean, one of the worst seasons in BLT, along with all the rest of the remaining participants in this list. Next up, we got the best week of BLT. I mean, this is pretty much self-explanatory. Which week impressed us the most? which one got us hyped. And the winner, easily. I mean, kind of expected. Finals? Finals would win with 17%, with 37% of the vote. Okay. Number 2 being semifinals, and then the rest of the weeks, pretty illiterate numbers. But yeah, finals was definitely the winner there. Next up, most valuable Pokemon. Yeah, this is a category I introduced last year, and I'm really hoping I see more of this year. This is the Pokemon that made the most impact throughout the tour. Whether through surefire memes or through just being an overall presence in the competition. Most of the games definitely relied on this Pokemon, so we had to pick only one. And yes, these are the 4 that I counted. I think there's more, but I think there's more safer choices on this list, but I couldn't think of any. But the winner,
possibly Azel for you at least.
I mean, expert build Azel was kind of common, but hey. The winner, which caught me by surprise, is Zygarde for both Ubers and DOU.
Registeel came close.
Yeah, I would have picked Registeel to win because, my God.
I would have picked it too.
Yeah, Registeel definitely should have won, honestly, because, yeah, Calm Mind, not Calm, Amnesia, Iron Defense, Body Press, and Rest with Chestoberry, I believe, or Leftovers, whichever of the 2, definitely deserves to win more than Zygarde, because how many freaking Registeel teams did we have in BLT, huh? For both you, but for all of UU, RU, and doubles, we've seen some Registeel usage this year, people. So, Registeel definitely, well, we think Registeel deserves to win, but good on Zygarde. I mean, Dragon Dance, Coil, Thousand Arrows, Iron Tail Extreme Speed, and the like, definitely sweep through the majority of the Ubers and doubles scene.
I'm not really sure where you got a couple of those options, but okay.
But more importantly doubles, because, you know, Zygarde was such a presence. So yeah.
Yeah, that tends to run either Choice Ban or D-Dance.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor there. And, you know, kudos to Zygarde for winning most valuable Pokemon, even though you don't exist IRL. Next up, the individual categories. We're going now to the big categories, people. First off, we got Uber's Player of the Year. Impressed by the choices?
I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
Because Aberforth is freaking 3rd.
Well, alright.
Tied for 3rd.
Well, okay, so, no self-explanation needed. This is definitely, like, Uber's Player of the Year, who impressed us in Uber's the most. And the winner, I mean, FC, I mean, for biased reasons, FC won. With 41.3% of the vote. Okay. Number 2 was Michael Derbest at 8, even though I think he played less games than Aberforth and FC. But it was still good to see Michael win. 2nd. And 3rd being Aberforth and Miminger. Tied with Miminger.
What was Aberforth's record? Come on.
I think Aberforth had a better record than Miminger or Michael, to be honest. Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. And the rest, Rimsit B, 7992, and Panurakata definitely deserves props for their involvement as well in BLT, but good on FC for winning. Well deserved, I think. But yeah, I think PokeArt is seething at the teeth right now.
Aberforth was the best Uber's player. You guys know it.
Next up, OU Player of the Year. Ooh. Again, choices. What do you think?
Well, I would have thought either Starmaster or Blimax.
Yeah, I mean both. It was a tough race, but the winner was surprisingly pretty dominantly going to Blimax. 43.5% of the vote. I mean, well deserved. I mean, Blimax should have been in OU and should have done well in OU. And, you know, as he well did in OU, definitely any hard carried for some of the games there. I'm pretty impressed. Blimax deserved the W, to be honest. Well, as a biased Swampert, yes, Blimax definitely deserved this win. So yeah, Blimax deserved the win, IMO. But Star Master did came. Oh no, Zen actually came second with 21.7% of the vote. I mean, okay. Star Master came.
Makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. How much did Zen go for again, price-wise?
Yeah, so Zen.
Didn't think of him at the time.
Yeah, I just didn't think. Star Master went third, and then Star Real went fourth. The 2 stars.
Zen is runner-up for the biggest deal, just saying.
Yeah, Zen is runner-up. And
honorary runner-up.
yeah, very, very well deserved for Zen, but Blimax, OU. Alright. Next up, we got... Oh, sorry. UU Player of the Year. Yeah, UU Player. So, who would win UU Player of the Year? So, what do you think of course, all these choices? I think they're the best.
These are fine choices.
I think these are the best of the UU pool had to offer this year. And the winner for the UU Player of the Year went to a tie between Udon Girl
Dugza and Udon Girl.
And
This is a
Dugza.
result I am happy with.
I am actually quite surprised. Well, I personally would go for either Dugza or Dunox, or even Udon Girl if I'm ballsy, but yeah.
Of course you would go for Dunox.
If I had to vote. Yeah, Dunox came third though, so I'm pretty happy with it. Plus came fourth, which, okay. And then Luthier came fifth, which, unfortunate. But yeah, Udon Girl and Dugza definitely had some big splashes. I mean, we know Dugza because Dugza is UU King, but Udon Girl definitely pulled quite the record. What was it? What was her record again? Like, Nick something?
I might have been neutral.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
I don't know either, but well deserved for both Udon Girl and Dugza. You guys both share the award. Dugza Girl.
What?
Never mind.
Never say that again.
Never mind. Are you Player of the Year? This goes out.
Is that even a question?
Is that even a question? I mean, I could have sworn a little person, like a teeny tiny person, won it by the name of Ars9. Won it by 54.3% of the vote. I mean, best RU player in the pool. What can I say?
Again, it wasn't actually a question.
No, it wasn't. Number 2 went to Theo with 26.1% of the vote. Revenge Killer went third, and then Floss came fourth. And teeny tiny John Filch, even though John Filch had a pretty good BLT IMO. But yeah.
Ah, yes, the teeny tiny John Filch. I wonder if he was the one who voted for himself.
Maybe. But yeah, Arstein, I mean, come on, well deserved. Well deserved. RU Player of the Year. NU Player of the Year. This one is probably the toughest choice, huh?
Maybe.
So, NU Player of the Year actually went to Team Charm with 15 votes with 32.6%, which is really funny because I think Charm has the worst record, the quote-unquote worst record out of these 4 options, because GW, Anarchist, and Ziri all did better, I think. I don't know actually the record, so take that with a grain of salt, but yeah, Charm winning, I mean, he did bring the memes. But the rest, I think we're pretty well deserved. I can't believe, like, Anarchist and GW are both tied for the last place position.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Ziri got more.
Ziri came in second.
Yeah, Ziri came in second. So well done, Ziri. So yeah, Charm winning as a Swampert. That's number 3, I think. PU Player of the Year. This one, okay. I've already talked in length of how PU has been my favorite tier to play in BLT. And these 6 players definitely deserve their props for being the best 6 players of the best tier. And the winner is Lady Rider. No surprise. 32.6% of the vote. Number 2 went to Ninja with 26.1% of the vote. Third went to Blimax. Fourth went to T. Lennet. Fifth went to Patek. And then last place went to Avarice, who actually had a great BLT. So...
Doesn't Lennet have, like, the best record here, though?
Yes, I think he does. maybe better than Lady Rider?
I don't recall Lennet losing much.
I don't also recall Lennet losing. I think he does have the best record.
I'm pretty sure the only time he lost was Lady Rider.
Because of that, I don't give an F week.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, the rest, I mean, good on Lady Rider for winning, and then the rest, congratulations, honorable mentions. LC Player of the Year. 4 people definitely were here. So, and the winner for LC Player is, I mean, no surprise, Taz.
Yeah, that is no surprise indeed. I feel like there should be more people here, though.
I don't know. Most of the, like I said, LC didn't really impress me all that much this year. Even if the pool was kind of stacked, a lot of the players just kind of went meh or bad. I didn't like most of the LC games this year. Taz impressed me the most. Kither came in second. No surprise. Frizawiva came in third, and then Tobias came in fourth. Which, I mean, okay, these are the 4 best LC players we've got. So the rest kind of, like, I'm not gonna point any names, but yeah, some of the LC players this year were pretty mediocre, or it was just plain out unlucky.
Yeah, you got a point, I guess.
Next up, Doubles Player of the Year. This one was definitely a toss-up because all 6 players are really dang good.
Yes, but not all 6 players actually performed well.
And the winner, surprise, it's Crunchman with 39.1% of the vote. Came in second was SMB with 26.1% of the vote. Surprise!
What world are we living in that SMB loses to Crunchman?
In terms of Doubles Player of the... I mean, we didn't see much of SMB. We did see what he can do, and people were definitely impressed, but Crunchman has had more of a presence being in the Snorlaxes and having some of the wackiest games known to mankind. So, yeah. Third place was a tie between Shadow Monster and Mamalu. I mean, Mamalu had to be on here because reasons. Fifth place went to Actuarily, and then Jonas came in last. So, yeah.
Actually, they tied for last.
Oh, they did tie for last. Oops. But yeah, Crunchman beating SMB for Doubles Player of the Year. 2022, folks.
Yeah.
Monotype Player of the Year. I only got 4 options. Attribute, Monkey, Maroon, and Pote, because all 4 were legit the most impressive mono players of this pool. And the winner, no surprise, I don't think there's any surprise, it's Attribute with 47.8% of the vote. Second place was Maki with 26.1. Pote came in third over Maroon. How'd you feel about that?
I'm not terribly happy about it, to be honest. Why did Maroon lose to Pote?
I have no idea. I mean, oh yeah, Maroon did beat Pote, so that Maroon did beat Pote during the actual tour, but yeah.
In terms of record, I'm pretty sure Maroon did better than Pote.
But Pote won. But Pote won over Maroon, so oof.
What's the logic behind this?
I want to ask some of these people who actually voted. Most Valuable Tier Award. This goes out to the best tier that has been played all throughout BLT. And no shocker, because we saw 2 of them this year rather than the typical one. OU won with 56.5% of the vote. Bruh.
Well, when you say most valuable tier, do you mean like most expensive in terms of how much players were paid for, or?
I see this as the tier with the best games, the most quality experienced games, and I think people really chose OU because it is their most common, but also it's the tier that they've seen all the best plays apparently. So yeah, OU won.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Even though I personally think PU should have won, and it didn't even get on the poll. PU for best tier.
I feel like PU should have taken second.
Yeah, PU definitely. Over doubles, to be honest. Doubles, I mean, there were some good games, but there were some also crap games. PU had at least the consistency of having great game after great game after great game every week.
Y'all have not seen some of Telenet's games.
Not of Telenet's games, none of Avarice's games, none of Ninja's games, none of Blemax's games. Come on, people. Next up. Oh, we're now coming into the top 2 awards. The big ones, the big Kahuna awards. Game of the year, overall game of the year. These are the 5 that I chose. I know that there are better options, and save that for the honorable mentions. But these are the 5 games I could look back on this BLT and think, that was a great match. I would gladly rewatch it again. So yeah, happy that I put Tilanet versus Druid, because that match I could still look back on and see, yep, this was definitely like the most comebacky game out of all of them.
Yeah, like, Telenet was on the back foot for a long time, and it was coming so down to the wire, it was nuts. The game was way too intense, yet it was stally, yet it kept me on the edge of my seat for a long time.
So yeah, explaining.
And I mean a long time. It was like several hundred turns.
It was. Blemax versus JXE, I think, is the best PU game of BLT. Harshal versus TJ, definitely miles the best OU game in BLT. Tilanet versus Druid, we've already talked about that. FC versus Aberforth, part 2 in the semifinals, definitely an improvement over last time.
Wasn't that the one where Aberforth brought the interesting Necrozma?
Yes, it was that game. So that's part of the reason why I picked this game. It was definitely a great game. Also, I put the series of Arts9 versus Theo because both the week 2 game and the semifinals games were very, very good. Best RU game by far. And so the winner for game of the year goes to Blemax versus GXE, and FC versus Aberforth tied at 30.4%. Alright, so Swamperts have taken it again.
Yeah, but so did the Lapresses, no?
Yeah. At least you got a piece of the trophy as well. I mean, third was the Arts 9 versus Theo duality. Fourth was the Harshal versus TJ match, and then 5th was the amazing comeback of Tilanet versus Druid, but yeah.
If you look closely at this list, 4 of these games have a Lapras in it.
What can I say? I mean, Lapras has the best games, and also, if you also look at it, 4 out of 5 games also have a Swampert in it, so Laprases versus Swamperts definitely was a big boy play. If you also
look closely, 3 out of 5 of the games are Laprases versus the Swamperts.
What can I say? I mean, our series was just that watchable, you know?
But none of these games are really from the... Most of these games are not exactly from the same week.
Yeah.
So
two from week 2, 2 from semifinals, so it all balances out. I mean, come on. Laprases versus Swamperts definitely was a story. And and finally, we come to Player of the Year. mean, I know people are gonna argue that so-and-so didn't make it into Player of the Year. Bleh. Listen, I had a hard time picking some of these players, okay? So yeah, I got Ars9, Maki, Michael Derbest, Unluckiest, Attribute, Dunox, and Star Master.
That's fair, I guess.
And the winner for Player of the Year goes to, no surprise, well,
Wait a minute,
fanfare.
actually, why is Team Charm not on here, huh?
No, I don't want to count meme options.
What about Crunchman, huh?
I'm not counting. They have a whole separate category all to themselves, okay? Think of it as like awards of awards. Prototype awards. And finally, we got the last, alright, no drum roll, no fanfare. Winner is actually quite a surprise. Attribute 1 Player of the Year with 26.1%
What, that was surprising?
I mean, out of all the options, I wouldn't necessarily pick on our Attribute to win.
People would have picked Crunchman, Mikoi.
You're right.
People would have picked Team Charm, too.
I am not. We are only picking the smart options. Wow, I sound so douchey. But yeah. Attribute 1 with 26.1% of the vote. Second was Michael Derbest. Third was Dunox. Oh no, sorry. Third was Ars9.
Third was my boy Ars9.
Ars9 won third. Fourth was Dunox. Fifth was Star Master, and then Maki and Unluckiest both got last. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this wild awards show. Thank you for watching. And also, shout outs to Jordy and Axe for doing a dang good job hosting BLT IX. Definitely was one of the harder, this definitely is a harder BLT to host considering the names we got, but I think we made it out fine. And also Snorlax's one, hooray. So, thank you all for...
That's not a hooray moment, actually.
Thank you all for watching this long series. I thank you, Pokeart, for accompanying me throughout this journey, even though we still got another tour to do.
Oh no.
But
Oh no, he's gonna make me do it, guys.
yes, come join us. So, to cap it off with BLT IX, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my videos once they come out. And I'll see you next year for BLT X. This has been Miko.
You'll see him in another video for TPP. He's gonna do it, guys.
Shameless plug, thank you. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mikoi, and I'll see you next year for BLT X. Signing out.
No!